Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I took a bleached hoodie and I'm doing airbrush design over top of it, a portrait design. So I got this hoodie from a thrift store, just a dark green hoodie, and I took some bleach, put it in a spray bottle and sprayed it to be able to give some different abstracts by using some stencils as well. So just showing you guys this whole process of how this hoodie turned out. So I have my reference lined up. I'm coming over first and doing some dark green in the shadow area around the lips. I have my projector connected, and I'm just using my wild image double action airbrush to be able to do a lot of the details and do all of the gradients as well. So this gun is great for doing these kind of projects where you want to be able to get, you know, very nice quality high-end detail when you want to, you know, get reflections and different things on the lips and different shading techniques in the eyes. This airbrush is created for this kind of work. So I'm just kind of taking my time, putting in a lot of the dark areas, blending things, and just kind of like just focusing in on what I see, not what I want to see. A lot of times when you're dealing with a projector, it's very easy to overpaint. I see a lot of artists use these different tools and they overpaint. So what does that mean? Overpainting meaning not allowing the projector to work for you. You just want to be able to allow the projector to do the heavy lifting. So meaning that you don't have to guess, just paint what you see, the dark areas, the shading areas. This is specifically used great while you are just building up the color in the basic area where you want everything to go. And then from there we'll turn the projector off and start, you know, doing all of the shading and everything. So I try to just be very versatile with the different tools that I use, and just try to make sure that at the end of the day it speeds up the process but still giving me a good quality product and a good quality piece of artwork. So this is just something that I decided that I wanted to paint, a technique that I wanted to do for myself. I've seen this technique before and different artists using it in different references and different perspectives in their art, but I wanted to do something very unique for myself, just to constantly keep experimenting with the airbrush. So now I have a little bit more detail that I'm coming in, starting to put a lot of the shading areas inside of the nose, focusing in on the dark areas first. It's very important to kind of focus in on different areas, and I find it more easier to kind of focus in on the dark areas so you can kind of get your contrast together. And when you're kind of like coming in again, you know, one of my specific techniques is to take your time, build up your colors very light first. Do not go too dark too soon. So this is a greenish blue that I created by mixing some different colors together, and I'm using this as one of the darker areas. I usually start off with a lot of the portraits focusing in on the dark areas first and the gradients areas, and then kind of letting everything build on top of that. I'll be doing some different greens and different things on there as well to kind of bring everything out along with some highlights. So I really want to focus in on making sure that the bleach is part of the effect. I don't really want to make it look like the portrait is sitting on top of the garment. I want it to look like the bleach is part of the art. So when I'm designing this and when I'm painting this, I'm keeping in mind not to overpaint and still allow the graphics of the organic look of the bleach to kind of still be one of the small components of this creation. So within that, just coming in, making sure that those dark areas are pretty intense and blending it inside of the organic feel of the bleach. I'll later be coming in with some other colors over top of the abstract bleach design, and then kind of throwing some other colors over top of that. So it's, with this technique, easy to overpaint. So just kind of take your time and just kind of build up these colors a little bit at a time. So I got my freehand tool, and I'll be using that here and there to just kind of tighten things up and just clean things up a little bit. A normal fade over top of the darker areas, but also I'm slowly building up those areas so you can be able to see the density around the eyes, the three-dimensional feel around the nose, making sure that the light and the dark areas and the shadow areas are in the correct space. I'm darkening it up a little bit more, get that real nice contrast over top of that zipper. I like doing hoodies. I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I just said, well, why not get a zipper hoodie sweatshirt. So I have another green, and I'm just kind of using this as a mid green, and I'm fading that over top of the darker green. So this mid green is very transparent, and I'm just slowly building that color up again, going very light and then building up the color a little bit at a time. I'm now gonna kind of add some more greens, or start adding a little bit of yellow into the green to make the colors kind of blend and pop a little bit more, and intensify the color and the contrast. So here again, this is all built around layering. A lot of times we want instant gratification. The airbrush is a tool that is very powerful when it comes to layering transparent colors over top of each other. So take your time, allow the tool to kind of work for you, and use the tool for the best of its ability, meaning that it is amazing to see the gradients that an airbrush can reproduce very fast. Oil, acrylic, it's very hard to get a gradient look with some of these other paints and different techniques, where the airbrush is pretty much created to do fades and shadows and shading, things of that nature.